Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope I had a great Christmas and is looking forward to the new year. Before we get into the January outlook of what we could expect, let's go and take a look at a fun fact I put together for y'all. Did you know in ancient Rome, January originally didn't exist as the first month of the year? The Roman calendar initially had only 10 months, starting with March, named after Mars, the god of war. January was added later when King Numa Pompilius reformed the calendar around 700 BC, making it the 11th month. It wasn't until Julius Caesar introduced the Julian calendar in 45 BC that January officially became the first month. Named after Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, and endings. Janus is depicted with two faces, one looking to the past and the other looking to the future, symbolizing the transition from one year to the next. Now, before we get into the January outlook, there is actually some severe weather, some significant severe weather at that, with a moderate risk being issued from far eastern Texas up here into Mississippi, with an enhanced risk surrounding that and a slight risk, of course, extending up here into Tennessee. Tomorrow, there is another threat of severe weather, less significant than today, but still a slight risk from the panhandle of Florida all the way up into the Carolinas. As we take a look at the risks, of course, all hazards are possible today with a 15% chance for hail within all the risk zones. The main risks can be tornadoes and high winds with a 15% hatched area within the moderate risk zone. As far as winds go, there is the highest chance of the three with a 45% hatched area over here by Louisiana and parts of Mississippi. So it's looking like it's going to be a long day for severe weather if you live down here in the deep south. As far as hail goes, tomorrow, it's not a very significant threat, but a threat nonetheless. The main threat's going to be tornadoes and high winds, just like here on today, with a 5% chance for tornadoes over here by Georgia and South Carolina and parts of North Carolina. Winds, I would expect the whole entire risk area tomorrow to be under the threat for high winds. So for the next couple days, prepare for tornadoes and high winds. Make sure you tie down anything you don't want blowing around, and make sure you pick up anything you don't want from damage from hail, as that is another threat today and tomorrow. Make sure to have a way to receive alerts, phone, weather radio, TV, or actual radio, and know your safety action plan when that tornado warning gets issued for your location: storm shelter, basement, closet, interior room, away from windows. If you're in a trailer, leave the trailer. Trailer cannot withstand a tornado of any sort of category. Go to your nearest shelter, Walmart. Just get away from the trailer pretty much. Trailer is not a good place to be during a tornado warning. And there's actually a tornado watch issued ahead of this system up until 5 o'clock tonight Central Time. Tornado watch indicates that conditions are favorable for severe weather, so make sure, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but have a way to receive alerts. You know where to go. Tornado warning gets issued for your location. And it's looking like 70-mile-an-hour winds could be possible. That's why they issued a high risk for high winds. So let's go ahead and get into the timing of this. We're going to take a look at the HRRR model. Now we're going to zoom in here to the south central part of the country. Keep in mind the enhanced and moderate risk is over here by Louisiana and Mississippi. And the date time's up here above my head if you ever want to keep track, by the way. Now, keep in mind the tornado watch is issued through 5 o'clock Central tonight, so this is looking to be a early afternoon into late evening event, mainly driven by high winds. Tornadoes could be a possibility by right around 2-3 o'clock. As we take a look at the tornadic parameters, we see pretty maxed out by right around 1-2 o'clock Eastern time, probably around noon to 1 o'clock Central. I know by the time this video is uploaded, this will be pretty much done, but it's looking like worst severe weather is going to be occurring from noon all the way into right around 5 o'clock Central Time. Winds could be gusting upwards of 40 to 50 mile an hour. Some areas getting in on right around 70 mile an hour winds, so power outages are definitely going to be a likelihood tonight. Be aware of this. Make sure if you have anything you don't want blowing around or damage from large hail, make sure you put it up. Now, to take a look at tomorrow's timing, we're going to take a look at the eastern half of the country. Take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer, because the HRRR only looks out so far into the future. Now, as we push off into Sunday morning, you can see the line of showers and thunderstorms that caused a severe weather event here on Saturday. We're pushing off into the east, and it's looking to be a early afternoon into early evening event before it finally gets out of the country. As we take a look at these significant tornadic parameters, we can see Where that 5% chance for tornadoes is going to be at over by Georgia and South Carolina. It's looking at right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the tornado threat's going to start to ramp up at, and then it's going to start to die off as we head into the nighttime hours. So either way, the next couple of days is not looking to be a nighttime event, which is very good news, but still not good to have severe weather at all, especially this time of year. And it's not too unusual to see severe weather this time of year because the deep south severe weather season ramps up from November all the way into May. Take a look at the wind gusts, what we could be getting in on right around 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Some are getting in on 60. So again, power outage could be likelihood tomorrow as well. So make sure you're aware of that. Basically, next couple days looking to be early afternoon into early evening event. Now, other than the severe weather, there's going to be some significant flooding going on as there's a slight risk issued from Texas up into Kentucky. Take a look at the flooding totals. We can see right around 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts possible. So, if you live in a flood-prone area, please be aware of this. See a flooded roadway, turn around, and do not drown. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty active couple of days. Another thing we know is going to be severe weather and flooding for the next couple of days. Go ahead and take a look at the CSV2 extended model, which takes us all the way out into the end of the month. I will show you the precipitation anomalies and temperature anomalies, and then I'll show you the Climate Prediction Center of what they think. I'll show you the GFS, which will take us out into the middle of the month, and then I'll show you what I think of what we could be getting in on. Now, the bluish green here is above average, and the brownish reds are the little bit below average. As we push this forward, we can see and head into the middle parts of January, the Northwest is going to be a little bit above average, except for up here by Washington. Really, the rest of the country is looking to be a little bit above average, except for down here in the Southwest. Y'all may saw on the thumbnail, it's going to be a little bit warm and a little bit dry. It's looking to be the case here, according to the CSV2 model. And it's looking like much of the country is going to start to come into a very dry weather pattern as we head into the middle of the month. But watch as we head into the end of the month, looking like the rest of the country is going to be heading into an above average precipitation pattern. So that's good news. As we take a look at the monthly precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, you almost likely saw this in the last video, but we're going to take a look at it again. We can see that the Northwest and Ohio Valley and Midwest is going to be above average, while the southern half is going to be below average. Equal chances means either above or below average. I'm thinking more in the lines of it's going to be dry to start and a little bit soggy to finish, which could mean some more snowstorms over this area. And that's why they're showing above average in the northern half, a little bit below average in this southern half. But we will still take a look at the GFS and the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook here in a little bit. Now, as we take a look at the temperatures, you can see, of course, December is going to be ending on a little bit of a warm note, but it's looking like January is coming in like a lion because we're going to be about 20 to 30 degrees below average for really much of the lower 48. And there has been hints of the polar vortex. We're getting that here in a little bit as well. It's looking like January is just going to be a very chilly month for much of us, except for the Mountain West, where it's looking like some above average temperatures could be in store. Now, really, that don't mean much this time of year above average because you could still be getting in on negative 10-degree temperatures, for example, and still be above average. And we can see as we head into February, we could be coming back into some above average temperatures. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. And there has been hints of a polar vortex. Y'all may saw on Facebook and on X. I've been reposting some content on there that people have been sharing about some polar vortex activity occurring. And we're going to have to zoom out here, actually. In North America, we can see when we're coming in on what could be a polar vortex as we head into the middle parts of January. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. This is well out into the future. Might not happen. It could happen, but it might not happen at the same time. Models are very uncertain as we move past 200 hours out. So I'll be keeping an eye on this for y'all, as cold air is going to be stretching down from what could be our 51st state in Canada. And according to the monthly temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, they're more on the conservative side, as the southern half into the northeast is a little bit above average, while the northern half is going to be coming in on either below or above average. I'm thinking more in lines of a little bit below average. But let's take a look at the GFS to see what they think. We're going to take a look at the precipitation first. We know we got severe weather going on and flooding for the next couple of days. It's going to be moving on to the northeast, causing some snow up here and It's going to be dealing with some more soggy conditions as we head into New Year's Eve. Y'all heading out to the ball drop. Could be very soggy out east, but really dry amongst much of the lower 48. Could be coming in on some snow showers in the mountain west. Moving to New Year's, y'all are eating pork and sauerkraut for good luck. Could be coming in on some snow in the Appalachian Mountains into the northeast, but really dry amongst much of the lower 48 except for the northwest. Could be coming in on some what could be atmospheric river kind of conditions up there. And then as we head into the beginning parts of January, we could be coming in on our first snowstorm of the season here in the upper Midwest into the Ohio Valley. Something to keep our eye on. There's already a slight risk for heavy snowfall from the 4th into the 7th, according to the Climate Protection Center. So could happen, could not happen, just depends. These models like to show snowstorms well out to 200 hours out. 2022, for example, there's supposed to be a big snowstorm over us here in Indiana. We had about 24 inches of snow predicted at one time. Then the next front showed a foot, and then 5 inches, and then the actual event we got nothing. So please take this with a grain of salt and don't get overhyped by this. I'm not going to show y'all snow totals for that reason, because I don't want y'all to get too hyped up and look forward to school getting canceled, because it might not get canceled. This will change between now and then, so keep y'all informed, of course. And that's going to move off into the northeast, still dealing with some lake effect snow as we head into the 7th. Could be dealing with some more clippers. We head into the middle of the month and some very chilly conditions. We can see a trough rolling through, bringing our potential polar vortex down here to much of the eastern half of the lower 48. And of course, La La Land when it comes to the models, about 300 hours out. The model run before this was showing ice and snow down here by Louisiana, and now it's not showing it, so that's why I say that 300 hours out is La La Land, because one model run could show ice over here in Louisiana, and then the next one shows nothing. So that's why we say anything over a week out, it's virtually impossible to forecast. Now, according to the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, from the 2nd to the 6th, it's looking like the eastern half of the country from Florida up into the northeast is going to be below average, as well as down here by the southwest, but it's looking like near normal to above average precip is in store for everybody else. It's in line with the long range model. Next 8 to 14 days looks relatively the same. The eastern half of the country is going to be coming into near normal to above average precipitation, especially down here from Texas into Florida. But the southwest is going to be a little bit below average, which is pretty spot on with the long range model. So I'm going to stick with the long range model, looking like the northwest and part of the Ohio Valley is going to be above average, which could mean the beginning of January could be dry to start and a little bit wet to finish. So that's my prediction of what could happen as far as precip goes, which could mean more snowfall here in the Ohio Valley and upper Midwest as we head into the middle and end of January. I'll keep y'all posted on the snow totals. If the models keep showing snow over this area, I will put up the snow totals and issue a bread and milk advisory, watch, or warning. So stay posted for that and follow my X and Facebook pages. I have links in the description down below and it's above here as well. No, I haven't been posting much on there, but I'm going to pick up more on the posting here soon. And here is that slight risk I was talking about when it comes to the heavy snowfall. So who knows, we might get in on our first significant snowfall of the season here at the Williams Weather Headquarters. And if we do get any snowfall, then I'll be out there reporting on it for y'all. Look forward to that as well. Now let's get into the temperature pattern of what we could expect. Since December started off really, really cold and finished on a little bit of a warm note, was spot on with my prediction of what I thought in my December outlook video. We can see, of course, the end of December is going to be warm, but don't get used to it though, because January is going to come in like a lion after we move past New Year's Eve and head into the new year. That cold air is going to start to win out. And we can see negative temperatures all the way up into the Dakotas. That's going to stretch down to the south. And that's why there has been hints of a polar vortex coming down here into the lower 48. Y'all may saw some posts on X and Facebook about a potential polar vortex. This is what we're talking about. Could be dealing with that as we head into the middle of January. And that's why the models are showing a snowstorm potentially in the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley, which could worsen the cold air and make it feel even worse than this, with feels like temperatures well in the negatives. And as we take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, we can see the eastern half of the country up here in the Dakotas will be well below average, while the western half of the country is above average. Next 8 to 14 days, really about the same story. Now, long range and GFS are both in agreement as far as temperatures go compared to what the precip was. because they're both showing very chilly temperatures for the beginning and middle parts of January. So we could be dealing with our first significant chill of the season. So unfortunately, get ready for that after we dealt with such a balmy December, and we could be coming in on some falling iguanas down here in Florida and an uptick in some snowfalls. So basically, my prediction is expect a very cold January compared to what December was, and a dry start to January could be in store for much of the country except for the Northwest. Expect the middle and end of January to be a little bit soggy, which could mean an uptick in some more snowstorms. So I'll keep keeping y'all posted if anything changes. Now, here is the average maximum temperature here in the lower 48. You can see up there by the Dakotas into Minnesota. 10 degrees is the average temperature, while down here by Florida, y'all are in the 70s and 80s. We're all jealous of y'all, of course. Shifting gears here, it's going to take a look at this month in weather history. We're going to take a look at the 1700s and 1800s, as well as the most recent events in weather history in the 2020s. In the 1700s, we had the Washington Jefferson storm of 1772, known for its heavy snowfall. The storm was documented by both George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, with accumulations up to nearly 3 feet. This event is often compared to the Knickerbocker storm of 1922 due to its intensity and impact in the DC area. The 1800s, the Great Blizzard of 1888. This was one of the most severe blizzards in American history, paralyzing the East Coast from Maryland into Maine. It brought 10 to 58 inches of snow, with some areas seeing up to 50 inches. This storm also featured hurricane force winds, creating massive snowdrifts and leading to significant loss of life and property. And here's another blizzard that occurred in 1888, mainly in the plains and affected mainly Nebraska and the Dakotas, where extreme cold and heavy snowfall led to numerous deaths due to exposure to the cold air. There's what happened in the 1700s and 1800s. Mainly significant snowfall occurred during that period of time. 2020s, mainly just significant cold snaps. Not much snow, but mainly cold snaps. You can see one of the most notable and bizarre weather events to occur in January was the bomb cyclone of 2018. This event was known as Winter Storm Grayson. As we all know, winter storms is like naming poops. We just don't know why we name them. Is characterized by a rapid drop in atmospheric pressure, leading to a powerful storm with hurricane force winds, heavy snowfall, and record low temperatures across the East Coast that brought the coldest wind chills of the season and near zero visibility due to heavy snow bands. This storm was particularly remarkable for its intensity during the winter months, demonstrating how quickly weather systems can intensify in the right conditions, affecting millions with blizzard conditions, coastal flooding, and extreme cold. Another one was back in New Year's of 2022, when summer like temperatures led to numerous records being shattered across the eastern plains of the United States, with Falcon Lake in Texas recording potentially the highest January temperatures in United States history at 99 degrees. This event stood out due to the dramatic contrast with typical January weather. In terms of cold, the January 2021 Texas winter storm was unprecedented for its duration and impact. The storm caused a week-long freeze with temperatures below freezing, which led to widespread power outages, water shortages, numerous fatalities, and even pipes burst in houses as well. Very significant for y'all in Texas. Y'all get any sort of snowfall or anything, y'all freak out. And I understand why. This event was the perfect storm with days of rain followed by sustained freezing temperatures, no sunlight, and frozen wind turbines, highlighting the vulnerability of infrastructure in unprepared regions, which, like I said earlier, y'all in Texas freak out if y'all get even a snowflake on the ground. That was very devastating over there. I remember that. Felt for y'all as well. These events each represent different aspects of January weather extremes in the United States, showcasing both the potential for unexpected warmth and catastrophic cold, all within the span of just 1 month. So y'all could deal with either extreme warm temperatures or extreme cold temperatures, snow, or severe weather. That's why I like summertime, because you can get severe weather and a drought and you don't deal with cold temperatures. I'd rather just deal with that than freezing my tuchus off and dealing with feet of snow and then the next day dealing with severe weather. I don't like winter. Now, here's some fun facts about New Year's. Americans drank 360 million gallons of champagne on New Year's Eve. Eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Day is good luck. In Mount Olive, North Carolina, they watch a 3-foot pickle drop. The Tournament of Roses parade has ran since 1890. If you kiss somebody at midnight, you will have love over the next 12 months. Over 1 million people are at the ball drop in Times Square. Lobster and chicken are considered bad luck if eaten on New Year's. Open windows and doors to let out the old. Throwing a bucket of water out the window will drive away evil spirits. And apparently, the color of your undies could bring you good luck in the new year. And did you know that 94% of New Year's resolutions fail? And y'all are the 6% if you subscribe to my channel. Y'all are winners in my eyes. And here are some resolutions by age, mainly losing weight and improving your finances is the main one. We can see how long New Year's resolutions last. About 3 months in, and then people start falling off a cliff. And remember to please do not drink and drive. Here's the worst countries for drunk driving. Surprisingly, South Africa is number one. Number two is Canada, our 51st state here in the United States. And the United States is third. And don't drink and drive because the next day you get to look forward to some ham, black eyed peas, and some sauerkraut. And did you know the reason why we have ham, sauerkraut, and black eyed peas on New Year's? Because pork is a sign of prosperity, cornbread represents gold, colored greens symbolizes good fortune, black-eyed peas symbolizes wealth, and you can have whatever drink you want with it. It really doesn't matter. And of course, Dairy Queen, they always ruin your New Year's resolutions since 1962, but please stick to your New Year's resolutions, y'all. Be the 6%. Now, last but not least, I'm going to share 18 of the craziest New Year's Eve ball drop events in the United States. Then I'll show some world events that occur on New Year's Eve and some folklore as well. I'm not going to share all of these. I don't want to make it too boring for y'all, but apparently in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, they drop a big gigantic peep. Nashville, they drop a big gigantic note and a whole bunch of country music singers sing. My favorite's Toby Keith. He's really good and I miss him. In Wisconsin, they drop a gigantic cheese. Arizona, they drop a big old iceberg lettuce. Idaho, what else is new? They drop a big potato. California, they drop a 150-pound bunch of purple grapes. Miami, Florida, they drop a big gigantic orange. Pineapple is dropped in Sarasota. Hopefully it's not upside down or they get a whole bunch of swingers. Key West, they drop a big gigantic conch shell, so maybe SpongeBob will show up, meeting Kevin. And in Key West, Florida, they ring in the new year with ruby red slippers. Apparently they drop big gigantic ruby red slippers. Number 11, Atlanta drops a big gigantic peach. Number 12, Maine. They enjoy double the New Year's drops in Eastport, Maine. Number 13, they have a big blueberry. 14, a crab is dropped in Maryland. 15, they drop a big gigantic cherry. Alabama, they drop a moon pie. 17, they drop a chili. And last but not least, in New York, of course, we got the ball drop. And here in Indiana, not mentioned here, but we do drop a IndyCar here. So that's 18 to 19 of the most interesting New Year's Eve celebrations. Now here's 12 unique and fascinating New Year's traditions from around the world. As we talked about the 12 grapes, and here is a story about that. In Spain, the New Year's celebration is accompanied by a tradition known as the 12 grapes of luck. Spaniards believe that eating 12 grapes as the clock chimes 12 times brings good luck for each month of the coming year. The tradition has been a staple in Spain since the early 20th century. It has become a lively and anticipated event, with people gathering in public squares to partake in the grape eating ritual. And of course, we got the underwear one. Men and women wearing red underwear on New Year's Eve is believed to secure love, passion, and success in the next 12 months. The red underwear is believed to be a good luck charm, setting you up for all good in the new year. The custom is also practiced in Spain to invoke similar manifestations of passion, love, and luck. And I have a graphic here I'll put up that breaks this down in even more detail. It's pretty interesting, I guess. Burning effigies in Ecuador. In Ecuador, the new year is greeted with the symbolic burning of effigies known as Año Viejo or Old Year. These effigies are set ablaze to symbolize the cleansing of the old and welcoming of the new. They often represent public figures or personal grievances from the past year. The act is believed to bring good luck and a fresh start. This tradition makes New Year celebrations in Ecuador a unique and Catholic way to bid farewell to the past. First footing in Scotland. Scotland has a tradition known as first footing. The tradition says that the first person to enter a home after midnight is considered a harbinger of good fortune. The first footer traditionally brings symbolic gifts such as coins, bread, salt, and whiskey. To ensure prosperity, food, flavor, and good cheer, it's a tradition emphasizing the importance of hospitality and positive energy for the year ahead. Most likely, this is what Drew McIntyre celebrates. Y'all watch wrestling, y'all know what I mean. Broken plates in Denmark. This one's a pretty funny one. In Denmark, New Year's Eve is marked by a communal tradition called smashing plates. Friends and family collect old and unused dishes throughout the year, and on New Year's Eve, they hurl these dishes against the doors of their loved ones' homes. The more broken dishes on your doorstep, the more popular you are believed to be. The tradition is seen as a way to start the new year with a clean slate and strong social bonds. Hate to clean up that mess. Ringing the temple bells in Japan. In Japan, the New Year's traditionally welcomed with the ringing temple bells at midnight on December 31st, known as Joya no Kane, or Midnight Bell. This ritual involves the ringing of Buddhist temple bells 108 times. In Buddhist belief, the bells symbolize the 108 human sins. The chimes are believed to purify the listeners and bring them into the new year with a cleansed spirit. Jumping waves in Brazil. In Brazil, the new year is celebrated by jumping over 7 waves in the ocean to bring good luck for the upcoming year. The beaches are filled with people wearing white and enjoying fireworks displays. Dressed in white symbolizes peace and is common tradition in Brazil. During New Year's, it is believed to bring purity and positive energy for the years ahead. Many also offer flowers and gifts to Yamajá, the goddess of the sea, to seek her blessings and protection. This tradition is particularly popular in coastal cities like Rio de Janeiro and Salvador, where large crowds gather near the shore to make their offering and celebrate the New Year's arrival. Celebrating this circular in the Philippines. The Filipino tradition incorporates round objects in one's clothing and food. Rounded circular objects are believed to symbolize prosperity and financial wealth. As a circle is the shape of a coin, moreover, circles can represent eternal and continuous unity, which is nice to manifest for one's relationships and family ties. Going into the new year, this tradition might be practiced through wearing polka dot prints and placing 12 round fruits in the home's dining room on New Year's Eve. This fruit might include apples, oranges, longans, watermelon, and pomelos. And last one, in Russia, they hold a moment of silence before the clock strikes midnight. It's common in Russia to pause for 12 seconds for a moment of silence. During this time, those practicing the tradition quietly reflect on the year and make wishes for the one to come. So there's some traditions around the world and here in the United States that we celebrate for New Year's. So I wish y'all good luck and a lot of prosperity here on New Year's. And I hope y'all make it a good one and set those New Year's resolutions and stick to them. And don't drink and drive because you have a lot to look forward to, especially that New Year's meal. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, make sure you like and share it so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave us some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because here on Williams Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. I also have a Rumble channel if you want to check that out. It's Williams WX98. I have 16 followers on there and it's growing. I greatly appreciate that. So basically, to sum up this video, it's looking like January is going to be a very cold one compared to December. And it's going to stay cold for a while. It being dry to start and a little bit soggy to finish, which could mean an uptick in more snowstorms in the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley with our first potential significant snowfall of the season. I'll keep y'all posted on that, of course. And if you're in the path of the severe weather event here on Saturday, December 28th, and 29th, then please be aware that tornadoes and high winds are going to be the main threats in the early afternoon into late evening events, so make sure you have a way to receive alerts. And if you have a safety action plan in place, and don't be scared, but be prepared. So again, have a great new year. Wish you all good luck and good fortune. Stick to those New Year's resolutions. Be the 6% that does. Y'all are winners. If you are subscribed, y'all are definitely winners. Never forget that. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all for watching. See y'all next year. And until next time, Never stop forecasting.
I wonder what it's